What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. I've been working on the Whaly build here and there. I would have liked to have updated you with a boat that had steering and throttle controls connected, but I ran into a bit of a snag and I thought maybe one of you guys could give me a little guidance. So let me show you where I'm at. I got the helm installed and the steering cable connected to it. It obviously isn't connected to the motor right now. It was just easier for me to take the console out and put it on a table here. I also have the throttle box pseudo installed on this side of the console, and I have it connected to the motor, right? So I was hoping that by doing this, I could start the engine, obviously not for long, just to make sure all the connections were good before running the wires. Because again, I've never done anything like this. And I connected the harness that came with the engine and controls. I connected it here to the motor, and the other end of this wire, or cord, I guess, it's a Y. So one end has these two harnesses on it, and that's connected to the throttle box or gear shift box, whatever. And the other end of that Y has these connectors, right? So this is for a gauge, something that I'm not going to need because I got this guy, okay? But, and you know, let me preface this by saying there is oil in the engine, and I just got gas in the tank. I primed it, so, and it's connected to a battery, okay? But when I turn the key, and the safety's on there, so when I turn the key, that's all I get. It does, the trim does work, but I can't get the motor to turn over. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Now, I went to an authorized Suzuki dealer earlier today and confirmed that these cables are in fact for the Suzuki tech. You know, I asked if I needed to connect the, because there's one that's, well, there's like a black, there's two black ones going into one terminal, a red with a green stripe, and then on the other end there's yellow, two blacks into one terminal again, and a red with gray. And then there's this little you know, harness there. So I confirmed that I did not need to connect that to a battery or anything. And, you know, obviously there is power going to the motor because the trim works. And the other weird thing is that even when I go to focus here. Even when I like try to pull it with this, it doesn't want to turn over. Now, like I can't pull this, and I don't want to force it, but I don't know quite what's going on here. Obviously, this is the throttle. And isn't it fascinating, man, how much stuff they can cram into under the hood of an outboard motor? It's just, I mean, and this is a tiny little guy. It's only 20 horses. So, so that's where I'm at. This is the throttle. This pull thing, it does move this mechanism, but that's as far as it'll go. And I looked on the front of it, to see if there was some sort of, button or safety or anything like that. And I can't find anything, something that might release a brake for this. And I got to tell you, the information that I got with the motor and the side mount remote control box, it's not meant for noobs, that's for sure. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to continue working on it. I don't want to take it to a boat guy. I'd like to do it myself. So I just have some more research to do, I guess. Luckily, I can join a forum or something like that. It's got to be something really simple. But while I have you, I'd like some input as well on something else. Let me throw this together real quick. Cool, so this is what I have in my head. Initially, I was going to have the steering cable and throttle cables and the power cable and the sensor cable all running into everything. The battery is going to be stored in the console, and that's where I'm going to connect the NIMIA 2000 network. And initially I was going to have a bulkhead put in down there, and I was going to run all of that stuff through that bulkhead and a PVC pipe into another bulkhead and then out the back to wherever it needs to go. I didn't like that idea because there's not a terrible amount of room. There's not a lot of room in the footwell, and I didn't want to step on it or anything like that. So what I opted for is a bulkhead in the side of this, okay? And the steering cable will come out and run to the motor, and everything will follow that line. This is not somewhere anybody's gonna sit. And what I was thinking, what I had originally planned for this boat, and I'm still kind of working on this, is, okay, so this is the bow of it, right? There's a little storage up here for like anchoring stuff and mooring stuff. But what I'm thinking is I was originally going to build an aluminum box, right, for the footwell, and fill the dead space in between everything. I mean, it would be a pretty significantly sized box. And then I was just going to fill everything with an expanding foam so that the box didn't like dig into the plastic of the hull. And then I was going to get some of that like foam that you put on the deck of a boat, and I was just gonna foam, you know, put foam on it, so it would kind of be like a pseudo bass boat, even though I don't fish, or kind of like a bow rider. And the reason for that is it's just me and my lady, you know, especially now you can't hang out with anyone because of COVID. So I was kind of thinking of doing that, and she could lay up front, you know, and just kind of relax if we, you know, head out to the coast and want to go to, you know, any of the islands, or obviously, you know, some river trips. I have some river trips planned, because we do go on adventures together. I just don't document them. So I was thinking about that. And then last night I was kind of like, well, you know, why go to all the trouble of making a box and filling the dead spaces with foam when I could just get a large sheet. You know, I was thinking of plywood, but I'm gonna, you know, price out aluminum, you know, kind of a thicker aluminum, and just put a sheet of aluminum with a door in it to go in there. So why do I mention all this? Because I'm thinking of, if all those control wires are running this way, if I really wanted to, I could build an aluminum box, right, that would go on here. And I have some ideas as to how I would secure it, but that would keep the wires or cords or whatever hidden. So, you know, if anybody has any ideas as far as, for one, what's going on with this engine, or two, any of this aluminum, you know, these ideas I have, let me know, because, you know, I have no idea what I'm doing. But hopefully we'll get it started soon and we can take it out on a test. Luckily I live, you know, a stone's throw from Falls Lake. And there's also a lake in my neighborhood right at the end of my street. But I don't want to bother, you know, my neighbors running a motorboat down the lake, even though it's big enough to. So that's where I'm at. We're keeping moving, and I appreciate whatever help you're able to give me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.